The Frankfurt Book Fair is the most important book fair in the world, and I was here last year. And if you need proof that the Frankfurt Book Fair actually delivers results, this year, when I arrived here, I received the German translation of my book, Cabinet of Curiosities, and also the Malay translation of Cabinet of Curiosities. So, in a sense, you can see that Frankfurt is able to build bridges. So it opens Filipino authors and books up to a new readership. So in this case, for my case, it was outside of English, it is German and it is Thai. So I would like to think that the Philippine participation in the Frankfurt Book Fair is actually a nation branding exercise. It is more, it goes more than books, you know. It is about the Philippines projecting itself as its showing its cultural capital, showing its creatives, its authors, its poets, and therefore we show a different face to the world. And unfortunately, whenever they think the Philippines now, they're thinking of corruption, EJK, which are still part of Philippine life. But then we have to show that there are other also positive aspects to our culture, and Frankfurt is one of the ways in which we can show that. Here in Frankfurt, we had a whole shelf full of the different translations of Philippine work. So I put in 3 of my German translations. They all got lost. I'm upset, but I'm happy that someone was interested enough to steal them, which means that it's interesting to them, because most of the people who sell in Frankfurt are usually the comics people and the people who do literature, poetry, novels, because these things are universal. But let's say for me as a historian, I used to think there was no real interest in it because very niche yung readership. But the fact that someone decided to translate them into 2 different languages, and there are prospects of translating into other languages, so it builds a bridge from the Philippines to another culture, another country. And I think this is what Frankfurt gives us, not just visibility, but being able to project the Philippines in a different way. I don't think we will be able to see the Philippines as guest of honor at Frankfurt again in our lifetime, but I hope that the National Book Development Board and the National Commission on Culture and the Arts will continue to sustain Philippine participation in Frankfurt, so that we will be able to bring more interest and new translations into Philippine creatives and culture. We always complain, for example, that we do not win medals in the Olympics because there's not so much funding into sports. But now there is funding into literature and the creatives. So it is something I hope that we will be able to sustain. It is something, this is not a ghost project. You can see something happening here. So it is something that should be continually funded.